Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is going to be season 3 of R&B Divas LA, and this is episode 4. Okay, so we start right off with Mo and Leela. Okay, they're basically talking about the whole thing with Miss Chalet and how she kind of just didn't show up for Mo to do the date with the father-in-law. That whole little situation, I was telling y'all last week, that kind of bothered me. It was just kind of stupid. She didn't feel comfortable, is basically what it all broke down to. She didn't feel comfortable. Mo wasn't taking no for an answer, and she just fucking didn't show up. Now, under normal circumstances, I can see you kind of getting upset. But we're talking about Miss Chalet here. Miss Chalet has a strange way of doing things. Everybody knows that. And I was already saying about the whole thing with her and dating. I don't think it's in her best interest anyway, because she's not completely healed from what her issues are. But whatever. But Mo's really irritating me, because I'm seeing you've been a little bit of trouble all along. But you're beginning to be a lot of trouble, it seems. Just trouble's following you. That mouth of yours is all over the place. I don't know what that's about. You're happy, so the time that you were spending crying last time, now you're spending it starting shit. I don't get it. But anyway, you're ready to cut her off. Now, was it me? Or did you all catch how Mo was, oh, she's an angel, and you're this, and you're my sister, and this, that, thing, and the other, and she didn't show up for the date, and you're ready to cut her off? Ready to turn, you done turned all up, and you ready to just cut her off and shut her down. Anyway, moving on. Next we see Miss Chalet, Shantae, Mo, and Leela. They all sitting down. Leela's actually heading everything basically this time. She wants to do some fundraising things for breast cancer. And the four of them have actually gotten together and everybody has agreed. I don't know where Brave was, but whatever. The four of them had actually agreed. Then we actually get to see Lil Mo and her husband. She's all turned up again. She's going on about this shit with Miss Chalet. He basically told her to kind of let it go, that it really ain't that deep. But she don't want to let it go. She just, she just wants a piece of Miss Chalet for whatever reason. So I'm like, girl, that's kind of crazy. Anyway, so then you got Miss Chalet and Chrisette actually get together. Miss Chalet is actually explaining, she went into the whole thing, how she explained how she didn't feel comfortable because the guy is KD's dad, and she just didn't want, there's too much family association there. And that's why she didn't show up, And she was saying, if there's an argument breaks out, then whose side is Mo going to choose and all that. And it was just too awkward and too uncomfortable, which is what I figured. And she just didn't want to deal with it. Could she have gone about it a different way other than not showing up? Sure, she could have. But we're talking about Miss Chalet here. She don't always think right. The bitch she was ready to cash in her damn coins and leave the casino. Does she always be thinking right? No, she doesn't. I mean, and I'm not big for giving people a pass on behaviors, but I'd have to give the child a pass. My goodness. I said, okay, but I didn't understand. Mo is just adamant about wanting to fight with Miss Chalet. I think it's because she thinks she can win. But I don't think so, because you fuck around with Nutball Sally and you might get what you're looking for. But anyway, Chrissy actually was spending some time talking about her brother, and she let Miss Chalet know that her brother was actually bipolar and this whole thing. And Miss Chalet told her she thought it was a great thing. She thought it was a great situation to actually have. Whatever. Moving on. Brave and Leela got together. Brave actually went directly to Leela to talk to Leela about, how Mo made her feel a little uncomfortable because she insinuated that Brave had offended a few of the girls. And her and Leela, it was really quickly grown women, and they cleared the air and it was done. Again, Mo and this new messy thing, I'm not a fan of it. I'm a fan of Lil Mo, but I'm not a fan of this new messy act. You're acting like Cynthia off of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I don't have her apple head to do. So I don't know. That ain't a good look, Mo. I hope you pull this back. some before the season's over, because this is not a good look on you. It really isn't. Let's see. Then we see Chrissy and her brother. They get together and they're talking. And finally, because I was getting a little irritated with them too with this back and forth, they are finally on the same page. They're going to work together. They're going to create the music. They're going to make the money. And they're going to work on their brother-sister relationship. And they're finally on the same page, on the same side of the road. And I'm happy about that. Next, we actually see Leela and Michelle. Leela is actually bringing Michelle up to the fact, she's bringing her up to the date on the fact that Mo is really so upset with her that she's really, really mad, because Michelle don't even, she's clueless. She's clueless to the fact, Mo's having this whole argument by herself. So she's telling Michelle, no, Mo is really upset with you, baby. Now, I'm going to laugh here because I have a cousin who does this little thing that she does. And this is what I see with Leela. My cousin always says, I don't gossip. But she got all the motherfucking tea. And when you get down to the story, her mouth done been on this side of it, that side of it, that side, my side, your side, all the sides. But I don't gossip, honey. And I don't know what she calls what she does. Newsflash, boo-boo. Gossiping. So, but that's what I see out of Leela. Leela be like, can't we all just get along? Okay, I don't like mess. You don't think it's messy that you're sitting down talking to Miss Chalet about situations between her and Mo? That's messy. That's messy. Any friend, don't no friends need no other friend to interject with nothing that's going on. That's messy. Mind your motherfucking business. Or just go on like my cousin does. Like I said, I don't gossip, child. But let me tell you, honey, that chick kills me, honey. Anyway, moving on. Next thing we see Leela and Chrissy. Chrisette came over, brought 3 little guys over to Leela's house, and they were masseuses, and they actually went over. She was telling her that she was proud of her for the party she gave for tea that we saw last week, and everything. And she said, I think that you need to get something back. Oh, pardon me, guys. Oh, somebody needs a nap. It looks like, oh my gosh. I guess that's what 40-something brings on, honey. Anyway, old tired bitch, honey. But anyway, so they talked, and they were getting their little massages going, and that was nice that she brought them over there. But they got to talking, and Chrisette talked to Leela again, because Leela, she doesn't gossip. But they were talking about the thing that happened with Brave, because Brave actually approached Chrisette as well. Brave literally went about it the right way. She went and approached the people. Did I do anything to you? Because that was not my intention. That's how grown women take care of things. And they actually talked about Mo's involvement. Well, Chrisette, you know how Chrisette is. Chrisette's, she tickles the hell out of me. Baby, Chrissy gave this. Listen. Brave don't know me. And for Brave to feel as though she said something that would upset me, is because somebody told her that something she said probably upset me. And that somebody is Mo's. And then they show her confessional. She says, well, it seems as though Mo's going around behind our backs and talking about us. I don't like that. And I fell out. I love that damn Chrisette. But Chrisette is like, this is bullshit. We're seeing Mo. She said, all this wanting to argue and fuss and carry on with Miss Chalet, she ain't featuring that. All this back and forth, basically starting shit. She sees it and she's not with it. And she's like, I may just decide not to talk to her anymore. She ready to cut her ass off. I said, okay. But how Chrisette is, you shoot to her famous last words, baby, I'll never speak to you, any of you ladies again. Goodbye, and march the fuck on out of Puerto Rico. But anyway, so the next thing we see Mo and Miss Chalet. She finally got the balls up, I guess, and she has Miss Chalet come over to her house. It was just a mess. It was a mess. Mo thinks everything needs to be her way. And it basically, the conversation went nowhere. Lil Mo didn't feel like she was wrong. She told her, you know what, whatever. But then when she said what going on, she said, well, you know what, I'm sorry. I apologize. Yes, I should have handled it better. I wasn't feeling comfortable. You weren't receiving what I was trying to say. And I apologize. I shouldn't have handled it like that. I'm sorry. Honey, that wasn't good enough for her. She just fucking messy. It wasn't good enough for her. She didn't even walk Miss Chalet to the door. And I was like, okay. But then from that point going forward, Miss Chalet paid Mo motherfucking dust. She acted just like she wasn't around. Paid her ass dust. They ended up going to an event. They had this event with Reverend Jesse Jackson, which was a nice, real nice event. It was his birthday. And he actually took time out to speak with the girls. He talked to all of them. Talk to them about the business and just handling your business and honing your craft and staying on top of it. Just a lot of words of wisdom and stuff like that. And you can see like Leela was getting kind of teary-eyed. And they were really all real captivated into what he was saying, as they should be. It's Reverend Jesse Jackson. You know, when Reverend Jesse Jackson talks, people listen. And they're no exception. Shut up, sit down, fuck the bullshit, and see what he has to say. You know what I mean? So, and that's what they did. I was really proud of them. They wasn't clowning. I laughed at Lil Mo because he said something to her about all the tattoos on her arms. And I was like, here we go with the church thing. But Lil Mo's part of the church. She knows better than that. I don't know why she didn't want something long sleeve. But whatever. She did what she wanted to do. But she was looking a little out of order. And Jesse made mention to it. He didn't make her feel bad, though. I mean, he was very tactful, which is part of the problem at church. When folks... If there's something they want to say and then they're not tactful, they just nasty with it, that don't work. There's everything. You can say anything that you need to say to a person, and you don't have to single them out, and you don't have to make them feel no kind of way. But again, that's a skill. You know, that's a skill set, and most of these good-doing Christians don't have that skill set. They ain't nothing but some old nasty mouth motherfuckers that like to say shit. But he really did. He addressed it. And kept it moving, and it didn't make her feel bad or anything. And I was like, okay, cool, go on, Jesse. But anyway, so he actually spoke with the girls, like I said, and then he actually led them in prayer, and they had prayer with Jesse Jackson. How many people could say that? That they actually had a group of your friends sat and had individual prayer with Reverend Jesse Jackson. So that was really a good look, like they said. I thought that was something. That's something that they'll probably never forget, any of the girls that were there. So that was great. And then they were going to be singing happy birthday to him. So naturally, with all this going on, the way the function was, you know that they were on the roster to actually do this singing of happy birthday. It was just a nice affair. Brave looked real nice. And you know, I became a Brave fan. Brave looked so nice. She had this really pretty black gown with cutouts. But the cutouts weren't, it wasn't sleazy. There was fabric in them and that, and she was wearing the hell out of it. And her hair was done in a little updo, Brave style. I thought she just looked sharp. She's just a pretty girl to me. But anyway, she looked really, really nice. Shantae looked good. They all really, they looked nice. Mo's dress was nice. I'm not a fan of all the writing on the wall, arms and things, just on my women, period. I just don't, that's not my thing. I don't knock nobody, but that's not my thing. And when it comes to evening wear, tattoos don't have a place in evening wear. Sorry. It just is what it is. When you say glitz and glamour, tattoos don't fit into that at all. So I'm definitely one that will tell you, yes, body paint, or you get a type of gown that will cover that up, because there is no place in evening wear for tattoos. Just isn't. Anyway, moving on. That's my opinion. I'm just saying. The next thing that goes on is introducing Stacey Francis. This is the new girl. It's the last of the new girls. Mo done brought her in too, I guess, because Mo knew her. Nobody else knew her. She comes to the table. She's like, oh my God, Mo. Mo. They're like, hey. They all looking at her like, who is this bitch? Who is this bitch? And I'm like, oh, stop it. Don't y'all start being shady. But baby, when I tell you, I was saying the program was getting a little lackluster, we're done with that. The shit is on. Stacey Francis is a hot motherfucking mess, okay? I didn't remember her at first when I seen her. And people kept saying, you guys were saying, go James, look at her on the X Factor and all this. And she's the girl that Whitney smacked and all this. I didn't remember her from the X Factor. And I have to say, I wasn't all that impressed with her at the X Factor either. But people were screaming about her so much, I just didn't say anything. She didn't knock me out. When I seen her and they introduced her last night on the show, then I knew exactly who this whore was. I remember her all the way back, see. Let's go back some. When she was with EX-Girlfriend, I remember her from that. If you guys remember back, EX-Girlfriend, the little group she was with, they were like a female version of Full Force. Now, you can go look that up. They had one song that did anything on the charts, and it was called Why Don't You Come Home? And Stacey, she has a voice. She's one of those Mariah Carey screaming girls, okay? But Shantae, baby, you ain't got to worry about her. You don't have to worry about her because she's a mess. And I remember way back then when this was going on, I'm talking about they were out. That song was out when I was in school for fashion design. So we're talking 92, 93. She was messy back then. She had a reputation for being messy. But I did like the little song, but the song didn't really do anything. Like I said, it was like a female version of Full Force. You could probably look it up. It's there. It's out there on YouTube. You guys go look it up. Why can't you come, or why don't you come home? It was like, oh, it was an okay song. It was like, why don't you come home, home to my love. It was very, I'm telling you, if you like Full Force, you would like it because it was just a female version. They had to give her this part in this song. The song was cool. It was like a nice little mid-tempo, little groove. And then at the end, you got Stacey Francis with her hollering ass self at the end. And she does this whole little line at the very end that never did fit into the song. And all it did was showcase that she could scream. That she had one of those high octaves that she could scream. Okay, you're not the only one. Guess what, baby? Look to your right. Shantae Moore's sitting over there. You better respect it and get into it. And as much as I fuss about Shantae, y'all know I'm giving my girl Shantae another chance because I loved Shantae Moore. I did. I was a big Shantae Moore fan back from when she first came out. She turned me off of her with this show. But me and Shantae, we're going to start over. She don't know yet, but we starting over. I don't know if she knew we fell out. We fell out, bitch. And now we're starting over. But for the record, Miss Stacey Francis, because you're sitting around thinking you're the shit, like I said, bitch, look over your shoulder and see over there. There's a hummingbird over there by you, bitch, and you don't want none of it, okay? Now quit your playing. Anyway, moving on. So we got this horse. She comes and sits down. She got this old ugly-ass dress. I said, girl, is that velvet? But it wasn't velvet, child. It was some kind of velour. Cheap. Some old cheap, heavy velour. It was, her titties was a little soggy, and so was the dress. Didn't care for it at all. But anyway, she was there as part of the program. She was being honored for some community work. But she's sitting at the table with the divas. She has this guy with her. You know, she had a date. And they sit there. And Jesse Jackson, you know, he actually called out their table. Again, another thing to go up on their roster of fabulous things that has happened to them with this. He says, we got the R&B divas from LA are here. Could you guys all stand up for me and give a wave? Honey, Reverend Jesse Jackson. So they all stand up naturally. You know, they're in their glory. They're in their moment. This motherfucking bitch stands up. Why is she standing up? She gets up and she gonna wave. And it was like at the end, because she didn't get up when everybody else got up, because bitch, she was get up. She didn't get up and wait and told Shantae, I'm a diva too. Child, Shantae's confessional said, no, ma'am. You are not part of the divas. I mean, there was no question. Now, she done made herself into an honorary diva. Whatever. Anyway, so, you know, all the girls was given this bitch. So, they sit down. Then they call her up. to accept her award. Now, like I said before, you know, at the way that this function was, the class of this function, and I'm telling you, it was really nice. You know that the singing of Happy Birthday was part of that program. Nobody has to tell me that. I don't need to see it. I done been to enough functions of that nature. Them singing Happy Birthday was a big fucking deal, and it was on that program. I'm sure of it, that it was on that roster. This bitch got her funky ass up there with that dumbass dress on that looked like a goddamn couch from over in an old folks' home. She got her ass up there, and she go to accept her award and tells him, well, since you are a reverend, I'm going to sing you a Baptist version of Happy Birthday. Really? And who asked you to do that, honey? Who the fuck asked you to sing anything? She got up there and butchered Happy Birthday. It was horrible. She was reaching at these notes and trying to grab them, and it was all over the place. All over the place, Miss Stacy, honey. You were a mess. You looked a mess, you sound a mess, and you were acting a mess. And this was your first showing. Girl, me and you going to have some time with this. I'm going to be eating you up every week. I could just tell. I could just tell, because you're messy as hell. As hell. You had no business with your ass up there singing nothing. Anybody asked you to sing nothing? They said, come up and get the award and get the fuck on. That's what you were supposed to do. Thank you. Thank everybody. Thank God. Thank my parents. And get the fuck on. Ain't no motherfucker told you to do nothing. No singing. Somebody should have threw a damn glass at you. Fucking up Happy Birthday, you dumb bitch. But anyway, so she was a mess. Them soggy ass teddies and all that. So the Divas was like, you know, Shantae was like, child, we ain't singing, child. Get up there singing behind her. Chrisette, same thing. Chrisette was like, we can't get up there and sing. She's already did it. But Mo made the most sense that she's made in 3 seasons. She said, honey, when you are called upon, you go up and you do what it is that you're supposed to do. You let no bitch take away our shine. And they got up there, because they called them up afterwards, and they got up there and went off without a hitch. Shantae started, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. And the girls joined in like our divas that we watched this program for, and they shut it down and they sang the hell out of happy birthday. They didn't even have enough mics for them. You know, they sang Happy Birthday, Stevie Wonder's version, and it was pretty, and it sounded good, and they made it work. Like Miss Chalet said, divas make it work. And they was Shantae was fucking cutting the cake and taking pictures with the mic in her hand singing. I said, come on through, Shantae. Come on through, because you're going to have to shut Miss Stacy down. I cannot wait. I am sure there's going to come a vocal situation where Shantae have to go up into that motherfucking humming tone and let Stacy have it. And I am so here for it. So here for it. But I think we're off and running now to where we're on our way to, guys. So this is it for this video. There's some shit get ready to jump off. Definitely next week there's going to be some shit that jumps off with Miss Chalet. She's going to let Stacy's motherfucking ass have it. She's going to read her dust. I can't wait. I'm so here for it. All right, guys, that's it. You can thumbs up or thumbs down the video. You guys know how that works. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. All right, guys. Bye for now.